Welcome to Faces Friday. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm Lynn Sherritt, and I'm in my very favorite place, the garden. And I'm here with my good friend and colleague, Lori, to chat about the final week of school in Ontario. Hi, Lori.
Hi, Lynn.
Thanks for being with me.
Thanks for having me.
And I'm just wondering how you're feeling this very last full week of school.
Excited.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely. I think I will miss seeing my students, but I'm
Yes.
excited for a little bit of a break.
A break. It's been a very challenging year, hasn't it?
It has been a challenging year, challenging for teachers.
Yeah,
You know, we've had to
absolutely.
quickly adapt to all the changes
Yes,
this year,
yes.
school year has brought us. So
And we've been, I think, learning at home more than we've been learning at school. So, Lori, tell me about your class and how they're doing learning at home. Yeah,
I teach grade 1, 2 in a small school in Zurich, and my students have really, made the change to online learning. It's been a little bit of a challenge for them,
sure.
but they've had to become flexible and just learn to do some hard things. And
Absolutely. And how old are they?
they're 6 and 7 years old.
Wow. And how many did you have in your class?
I had 18 in my class, and that was pretty much consistent until around January, and then one has left. So I
Okay.
have 17 students online.
And how did you keep their interest when they're learning at home and they're only 6?
Well, that was definitely a challenge, making sure that they were engaged in the learning. I think a lot of the new technology that was out there allowed us to do some collaboration amongst
Yeah.
ourselves,
Yeah.
and we got a chance to, do some interactive games
Exactly.
and just, having some fun online
Absolutely.
was important.
And I guess I'm wondering how you managed to teach the students to read online.
That was a bit of a challenge for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
I think having my colleagues there, we all had an opportunity to teach one another some really good technology tricks.
Excellent.
And we were able to break out and do some small group instruction, which was really good.
Yeah.
And but that was definitely a challenge for sure.
Absolutely. You know, since 1996, when I wrote my thesis, I talked about how teachers learn when the stimulus for their learning is technology. And you know, what I learned from that study, one of many things, I learned that teachers learn best using ICT from their supportive colleagues, someone that they know, not necessarily a guru in technology. What do you
Right.
think?
Absolutely. I think one of the successes that came out of remote learning was that a lot of my colleagues became leaders.
Yes.
We were able
Yeah.
to meet on teacher forums and
Yes.
teach each other some of, the techniques and really showcase some of the successes we've had in our own classrooms to move student learning forward. And that was a really successful part of this remote learning.
And finally, after all those years since I wrote my thesis, some of the recommendations are coming to light and being embedded. One of the other recommendations was that everyone's a leader, and everyone's a leader in technology, and teachers teaching teachers is the best.
Yes, absolutely. I was so fortunate to go online and look at, teacher forums on Facebook or, within our board, and we were able to support each other that way, which was really good.
How good is
We
that?
were able to share some of the really neat things that the kids really enjoyed as well.
Yeah. And how about parents? There's been kind of a light shone on parents at home who are helping their students. They're really becoming teachers.
Absolutely.
How did
I
it work?
think one of the challenges teaching such a young grade was for the students to be independent. And as a teacher, it was hard to assess them sometimes
Absolutely.
because,
Yeah.
their parents were there working alongside with them. And so to get some authentic assessment was a challenge. Yes.
Did you
and
do running records?
I did
online?
do a few running records
for
online,
you.
which was
Good for you.
which was interesting.
Yes. Yeah.
But it was successful at some times. I'd ask the parents to just let us do our own reading together,
Yes.
and they were very cooperative. So
Isn't that good? Isn't that good? I just think we've learned a lot through the pandemics. We've encountered so many challenges, but we've really learned some lessons about students who can be independent,
Absolutely.
teachers who are supporting each other, and how parents can be partners in this work. And I guess for me, everything stems from our leadership being pervasive, supportive, and also challenging us at times.
Right.
What do you think?
I absolutely agree. I think many of us took the challenge to learn new ways,
Yes.
and I think we were good role models for our students too.
Absolutely.
They learned, they saw us learning new ways,
Yes.
and that gave them the confidence to try new things as well.
Now, do you think that our lessons learned through the pandemic will endure? What do you think?
I think this is going to be the new normal for us.
I think so.
I really do. I hope we don't lose all what we've learned through this remote learning. I think that technology is important in bringing it into the classroom, and our students are very fortunate. They have their own Chromebooks. So for
Yes.
them to access technology in the classroom, I think would be beneficial for them.
And to keep doing that.
Yeah,
Even when we
absolutely.
hopefully return to
Oh, I hope so too.
in-face learning in September.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you so much for chatting with me today, Laurie. Is there
Thanks,
anything
Lynn.
else that we should say?
No, I think we should just be. I'm very thankful for all of my teacher
Yeah.
colleagues out there
Yeah.
who've supported one another, and I
Absolutely.
think there was so much learning to be had and so many successes that I hope that we continue to move forward.
Yes.
Right.
And I'm thankful for you talking to me today
Oh, thank
in my garden.
It's beautiful, Lynn. I love your garden.
Thanks so much, Laurie. Thanks very much, everyone, for joining me on Faces Friday. See you next week.